Alright, I'm going to change it to all messages. So, we are just doing some microfishing. Uh, Here, let me give you a show of my setup first. So, actually, I have my Tenkara rod. This is 250 centimeters, 2.5 meters. A little float, a hook, a tiny, tiny little weight, and a grub. So, I did see some small fish passing through this area. Let's give it a try. Oh, there we go. Oh! Do you take the bait? Nope. Still got the bait. These guys can be kind of tricky to hook. Oh, you can't really see my float. It's not big enough. It might be too high. Oh, retirement days. We're just fishing for some micros today. Actually, not using the stand I wanted. Sink too deep. I'm going to adjust the float down so it doesn't go as deep. So generally, most means they hit it on the fall. It's an absolutely tiny float, tiny hook, tiny weight. And now you're passing under it. Oop, he didn't commit. I might have pulled it up too much. Now we're still experimenting with how deep we need to go. Let's try kind of halfway between the last two positions. So what we're waiting for is they come in through in schools. So you'll see big groups of them come through. And so we're waiting for those schools, and this is kind of a choke point where they generally pass right in here. They generally pass right in here, and so we're just putting the bait in front of them, waiting for a group. Now we gotta wait for another group. They were a lot more active in the summer. It's like 12 degrees, I think. just looked at the bait and left. Oh. Nope. Maybe they're not in the mood for grubs. Oh, look, there's a big koi. Please don't bite it. If you do, spit it out pretty quickly. No, he's going to ignore it. Good. I don't think my rod would handle that. Maybe it's time to put a new grub on there. I'm going to change bait. Put a new grub on. Take a little tip. Yeah, this one pretty mashed up from the fish that I did land. Might have been part of the problem. Oh, I want to go wakisabi fishing again. Problem is, there's only one place in my prefecture you can go wakisabi fishing, but it's a long ways away. To the point where it's like, might as well go to. I think they were attacking the indicator. They should have gotten the red grubs. The places you can go wakisabi fishing are far enough away from me that it becomes a trip in and of itself. So there's one place in my prefecture, which is the other side. It's up in the mountains. Not really super easily accessible. There's also good trout fishing there, actually. The trout season's closed. And then the other options are like going to the Fuji 5 Lakes, which are fun. I like them. Me and my wife have been quite a few times. So we'll probably end up going there again sometime in January, February. The problem with Fuji Kawaguchiko now is it has become such a tourist place. I can adjust the float, there's no problem. In Kawaguchi Lake in general, Kobe's Lake in Japanese, in general has become such a touristy place that it's gotten, hotels are harder to get, it's gotten more expensive, just crowded. There was this Lawson's Family Mart. It got really famous because you can see Fuji behind it on a clear day. To the point where they put up barriers because it was becoming a problem. People were climbing up. People were climbing onto the roofs of local buildings and going into the dentist's office across the street just to take photos and disrupting local commerce. It's not good. Not good. They put up this barrier. People were like poking holes in it. And I remember last time I went fishing at Lake Kawaguchi, it was really foggy that weekend. Like, you could not see Fuji. And still, there were huge numbers of people taking pictures of that family bar, even though you couldn't see Fuji. It was ridiculous. Yes, anyone who's new to the chat, a lot of times during fishing live streams, I just rant about random stuff. Is there even anyone in here? No one's leaving a comment. Must not hate it. If you got a subject you want me to rant about, pick that instead. that one really something hit at the beginning and nothing since. Try maybe this is almost the same setup I use when I take my daughter to the bait pond to go fishing. Next time I do this, I'm going to use the other camera stand. I can just literally put it on the fence. Put the camera. Alright, I thought I was very copyright that. Maybe we should try a different part of the river. Do some exploring. Seems to be shockingly. Yeah, I hooked into one at the very beginning of the live stream, like the first cast. Grant, hi Grant. Yeah, so I hooked into one right at the beginning of the live stream, and I didn't land it. And then since then, I haven't had much luck. It's only 12 degrees Celsius, so they're not moving that much. It's a lot colder today than yesterday. There's a koi coming. I really hope he doesn't take the bait. Yeah, that's right. Go around it. Yeah, boy. He'd snap my rod in two. I'm also kind of annoyed. I got out here, and then I realized that I forgot the camera stand I wanted. So I have that camera stand that can connect to the fence. Yeah, I'll show you. So there's a fence here, and the original idea is I'm going to use the stand that lets it connect to the fence, and then here, and then be looking more down. Well, I grabbed the wrong camera stand. I grabbed the gimbal. I don't know why I was thinking it. Well, I packed up last night before I went to sleep. That's probably why. My sleepy brain's like, oh, this is a camera stand. That's right. This is a canal. If you go further up, I've actually caught quite a few koi up there. Obviously, this is not going to handle a big carp. It's just a tower line. You go down there, there's the elementary school. That used to be the castle. The elementary school is built on what used to be the castle here. That's actually a surprisingly common setup. Yeah, I'll show you the setup that we're using. I'm using a 2.5 meter Tenkara rod. Give me a little bit more reach than the 1 meter. That's more for like ditch fishing. And we've got basically braid called a level line. We've got a float. I've got a little direction marker. I like them. Just a little piece of red fabric. We have I really need to clean this up. Focus. So we have a weight, and we have what's called a Harris swivel. And then that goes down to a hook with a grub. So far not much. I don't even see very much moving in the water. I know the camera is not as good as the human eye about things in the water. So it's actually not that deep this time of year. Ooh, saw movement over there. I think that was a Moro. Yeah, right under the tree. Thanks. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. All right, maybe. Oh, I see activity over there. Let me get myself real fast. Try to point you in the right direction. Stand. Maybe I have the wrong type of boot for this. Looks like there was a school of Moros over there. Don't know the English name of those. But the carp came through and spooked them all. Also, the water over there is way deeper than the water over here. Oh no! Good work. They're attacking the hair swivel, not the bait. I should use the hair hook. Here, we'll move over here. So the fish attacked one of the fish attacked the indicator. And one of the fish attacked the Harris swivel, which makes me think that they want bright colors today. And so now I wish I bought the grubs that were dyed red. Might have been a good day. Yes. So, kind of interesting setup here. So this canal is, well, actually, let's talk about this one first. This canal is all agricultural from the rice fields that are up to the north. So it flows through there, and during times when they need to flood the rice fields, they divert the water in there. This one is actually the canal, the dumping out of the canal system that runs through the city. So long ago, that was how you got water, A. Probably wasn't very good, safe for drinking. And basically takes runoff and all the rainwater and directs it through here. Much slower moving. So then these come together and they meet up down there, which is going to be the next spot we're going to try, kind of where they meet. And then eventually runs the Gogagawa, the river that runs past the city. And then from there, it eventually goes to the Kinagawa, and then the Tone, then Tokyo Bay. So yeah, it is a kind of interesting setup. Now, this primary one used to actually be used for part of the castle moat. So the castle was built up there. You can see a little bit of an edge of a building. That's a school. The castle, after it was abandoned and it was basically turned over to the city, and the city turned it into a school, which is actually a very common thing to have happen in Japan. I think we're going to move to where the two rivers meet. Not as, because it's wider, it's a little more like this. But let's give it a try. Yeah, just not interesting. And the indicator seems to distract me, so I'm going to push it way up. Just turn the part. Just lost my. Wait. And they're gone. So we're going to go on a field trip. We're going to try another spot. Yeah, it is kind of a neat spot. Not your normal setup as far as canals. There's a spot that's pretty good in the early summer where one of these canals that's further north goes into the Gogyogawa. And so, because it pushes a lot of food, the fish all seem to hang out there. All right. A lot of little fish right there. Those are just, those are tiny. Here, I'm going to put the camera down here. I'll just wait and see if something passes through. I'll look over there on the other side. Right now the water's really slow. Oh, look at that! Look at that koi. Hey, don't take my bait. Yeah, look. It looks like they're all on the other side. That is the huge disadvantage for slow fishing. Really, Ted Carr, that was sort of developed for small mountain streams. You notice that the fixed line fishing, for example, for IU, they're using extremely long poles and extremely, lines there. Oh, missed. For IU fishing, they're using very long poles and, man. Should probably stand on one of the rocks and be more aggressive about this and less lazy, right? I am on a live stream. Ooh, nope. The hook's not getting in there now. new bait. This one's looking pretty beat. It is. It usually is. It's more productive in the summer. It's usually very productive in the summer. If you want to catch lots of little fish. We can really only spend an hour on this live stream today. Group in here. I'm going to try to cast front of and then Grant. Hey, Stanley. Yeah, so this is. You just came here. This is a canal, two canals actually. Lots of little fish, those are tiny. So on the left side, that basically goes through the farmland to the north and then feeds into here. And little fish were trying to take it. Feeds into here. Then this on the right, this is sort of the runoff agriculture, some agriculture, but mostly runoff, and the water that used to go through the city for like supplying water. And then these join up together, and then they head through there. So on this side, oh, I forgot my bait. This used to be, put my rod down. This right here used to be the castle. And then after it was no longer used as a castle, it was turned over to the city, and the city turned it into an elementary school. That's actually pretty common in Japan, that there's a lot of older elementary schools built, or schools in general, but particularly elementary schools, built on former castle grounds. Some of that was the Meiji era, that what we consider elementary now or primary was compulsory, so the city had to build schools. And it was the higher levels that were optional and were generally private, with a few city-built ones, particularly in larger cities. Let's take a look. Can we find any groups you are interested in? There's a few. See, it's not my normal spot. I just lost my float. Okay. My float just came right off. Yeah, the bridge, under the bridge is nice till there's flooding. That's the only thing I'd worry about living there. I just lost my float. I have to wait for that. Trying to. During the summer, there's a lot more here. It's like 12 degrees centigrade, so they're kind of not moving that much. There's a lot of carp in here, though. Remember that live stream you did where you talked about, oh, if you had to live off of food, you could forage, catch, or hunt for a week? If you're carp fishing, which I'm not, you can very easily pull maybe a carp every other day, or a carp a day, without much effort. There's a Sunfish King had a tournament where I only showed up for the last hour, cast out, catch a carp here, landed it, caught the longest fish. No, 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 I hit it the wrong way. I'm trying to encourage the float to go get stuck on the rocks. I'm gonna have to wait for it to keep going. There, I think the float is close enough for me to catch now with the net. So, pardon me as I go under the fence. Got it. Catch of the day, getting my own float back. Alright, move upstream. Let's try this spot. Wish I hadn't forgotten the camera stand I wanted. So one of my camera stands can hook up and connect to fence. I've used that in a lot of live streams. I did not bring the one that could because I grabbed the wrong one. So I'm forcing you guys to look kind of like through the gap in the fence. Not the best view I know. Come on, snake. That's about the best I can do. That'd be preferable if I could just put you on the fence. Oh, there's a big carp. Oh, an orange carp. Tiny orange carp. Of course, tiny orange carp took the bait. The problem is the carp, they're big enough and they move through, they chase off all the other fish. the other fish coming in for meal. It is, oh god, it's gonna be like 9 a.m. Let me check. 9:20. Oh, it's later than I thought. So I don't have work today. My wife does. My wife's bicycle is broken. That's her primary means of transportation, and she doesn't have time really with her job to go to Cyclista to get it fixed. So I'm gonna bring her bike there, which means I'm gonna have to push the bike. Like, I don't know, 30, 35 minutes, I think. The Cyclista is on the other side of the station, so it's a bit of a trip. So I live in a place called Aramachi, which is basically the suburbs. It's basically you go 100 meters away from the center of the city from my house, and it's rice fields. So there's not as much of those types of stores in, there's grocery stores, stuff like that, but they're not going to have things like a bicycle shop or a lot of clothing stores, things like that. So we usually have to go in more towards the center of the city for those types of things. Like I bought a microphone, by the way, which I'm excited about. To plug into your computer or phone for recording, because I've done some of that lately, where I've done like voices or adding audio to my filming, and it's not that good. So I bought a microphone. I found one on sale. It was at Wondergo. But at the same time, it's like, I gotta go. I took the bicycle, but it's still like, I gotta go all the way across to Wondergo. But a little bit of playing around I've done with it, though. The microphone sounds really good. Some of the reason is I have a bit of footage, which is going to be, like, have to be all voiced over. Like, none of the audio with it is any good. Let me go grab us some coffee. I don't think anything's going to happen. No, I'm not. It's more of a studio microphone. It's not really one for carrying out in the field. It's like something a podcast or something would do. So I have footage for a few videos that, in all reality, I can't use any of the audio. One of them is, it's filmed in a cave. Caves have horrible audio. So it's ridiculously bad. I've only listened to the audio. The footage, I'll have to take a look at too. I might have to try to lighten it up, because I wasn't thinking, and I filmed in a cave with my GoPro, and turns out that if you're doing that, I found out later you should change the exposure settings, because the GoPro has trouble taking in enough light inside caves. So I'm going to take a look at that. I might actually just throw the whole thing out if it's really bad. But there's another video, which should be the next long form video that comes out in less something interesting happens that I just cannot resist making a long form video about, which, was yesterday's video. And also, the microphone was honestly half impulse buy. We were in Wondergo. I saw it for sale. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I want it. And then I went home and then was like, you know what? I still want it. So I went back and bought it. Ooh, hello. Let me see what's going on over here. Let's try another spot. The other thing kind of going on with this canal is I don't fish it that much. Yeah, so I'm curious how that GoPro in the cave is going to look. I suspect it's going to look pretty bad the more I think about it. I haven't looked at it. Part of it, too, is like, oh, kind of cool. It would have made a great video, but, oh. No problem. YouTube recently, it seems like they cleared out a lot of subs that I had. I don't know why, maybe inactive, maybe something. One of it was I had a short that blew up and I grew like very quickly, which maybe, and then my next few shorts didn't blow up. And so that growth didn't continue. So I wonder if YouTube was like, oh, these are bots, or oh, these are paid for something that you're not supposed to be doing. I kind of wonder if that's why I was stuck at 509 for so long. That was in some type of, I don't know, algorithm jail where they're like, well, that was suspicious. I don't know. That's kind of why I started calling. I was like, if I didn't have other things to do today, I would have gone to the pond. But I'm like, I should find somewhere in the city. Proper. I was actually fishing this cat. I only know that because I caught one once and was surprised. Here we go. Fish on, fish on, fish on. That's Merle. Merle. A lot of these guys here. Yeah, let me show the camera. There we go. Ta-da! Yeah, I don't know. It was strange. Cause you're yeah, there's probably some dead accounts on there too that got killed. All right, good job. We're gonna give you a nice little release. I'd say grow bigger, but that's about as big as that's. He can grow a little bigger. Let's throw it out in the same area, see if we can get another one. I honestly feel like this area that's harder to film in and is a bit more wild might be better for actually catching fish, but not as good for filming. So over the summer, I went koi fishing in here quite a bit, trying to catch carp, particularly carp. So there was an orange and black pattern koi in here, and so oh, my voice is bad. So I filmed a bunch of videos like trying to catch that particular fish. It was a big one too, and then I stopped seeing it. So I think someone caught it and kept it, and now all those videos, I'm hyping up and like, okay, I saw this orange and black koi in here. We're gonna go fishing. We're gonna go try to catch it, and then we don't catch it. And the next one, here's our second try, trying to go catch it. We're like gonna go down here in the morning when they're feeding. We're gonna try this bait and that bait, and I catch tons of different fish. They're going to different one hits my bait. All right, cool. And keep going through, and then one day it just disappears. I don't see it again. So I'm thinking someone caught that fish and kept it. Understandably, I know why they would do that. They're going to put it in their own pond or whatever. But it was kind of disappointing when I filmed a bunch of these videos over the summer chasing this one particular fish and then did not get it. So part of me is kicking myself with, I should have done it episodic instead of I wanted this big, long, grand episode. But then if I did it episodic, it would have been really disappointing when he disappeared. Like, would have just ended on a cliffhanger. Like, oh, sorry guys, he's gone. Probably a good thing I decided to put them all into one long episode. Otherwise, it'd be like, yeah, sorry, I know. Blue balled ya. Let's go up a little more. It is 1 hour mark, so I am going to have to get off soon. Pack they done? Done. This will probably be our last spot. I think it's not that deep here, actually. It might be set too deep. Yeah, oh no, last cast always gets another. The last spot is actually where I caught the catfish. I think. Yeah, there's a bunch of trees overhanging. It's one of those things where there's one catfish. There must be other. Doctor Slater. There must be other catfish. I've been tempted to buy a catfish lure and try that whole thing. But the thing is, catfish are much more common further south. We're kind of, I wouldn't say the northern edge, but I don't think they get as big up here. Ibaraki is quite a bit of catfish fishing, I think. As long as we don't start yanking bass out of here, then we got a problem. In Mashiko, near where I work, that canal had a bass infestation for a little bit. I think they killed most of them off, though. I'll say that, and then sometimes I'll have people in the comments like commenting, "Oh, bass aren't invasive. They're just not native. They don't affect the local wildlife." It's like, yeah, no. Everything that the Ministry of the Environment and every other group has said, no. Where are you getting this from? And I keep asking people that, like, where are you getting this information from? And they never reply. Well, I should make a short about that. Like I keep getting this from people occasionally, like once or twice a year. I'll talk about, oh, bass are invasive, they're a problem, so I gotta kill it since it's in here, and it tastes good. I think bass tastes good. There's only a select number of bodies of water that are pretty controlled where they're like, yeah, you can throw it back. There's one in Ibaraki nearby. Uh, that's what I know. I think Iwashiro, maybe you're allowed. Iwashiro? Not sure. I don't know the rules there. Fujiko, I think largemouth can be put back, smallmouths you gotta kill, or vice versa. Last cast. Said that before. Iwashirako. Iwashirako. That's actually where the largest smallmouth in Japan is called. I know the short did horribly. Got like 16 views. But I should do another one of those fishing trivia in Japan videos. I thought they were fun to put together. It was short. It got like 16 views. I thought it was going to do well. Asked like, I don't know, 4 or 5 questions. I should do one about invasives, about like different types of bass and bluegill. What's kind of interesting about the bluegill here in Japan, invasive bluegill, is because they all came from the same like parent population. This group of bluegills that were given for research, because they all came from that same spawn group of bluegills that was brought over. They've actually located down to where exactly those bluegills came from. So it's like there's a genetic choke point, I guess you would say, where it's like, oh, well, this is all of the founding population, and then they grew out of there. So they were able to trace back genetically, like, oh, hey, they came from this part of the United States. It's near Chicago. It's in Illinois, near Chicago, if I remember correctly. I don't think the bass had as distinct a founding population because they were brought over. God, somebody smuggled them in with the help of the Yakuza first. And there were other stockings too. And for a while, they didn't care. They didn't realize it was a big problem, and they realized it was a big problem. So there used to be lots of these, maybe PayPal and stuff like that. There was one in Ibaraki, not far from where I live. It basically was like, oh, it's North American style fishing, so it had like bass and bluegills. And well, the law changed that you couldn't do that, and so you actually had to close. The ponds are still there, so you can still catch the bass and bluegill in there. And if you release, you can't take them away alive, but if you release them there, it's fine. Unless they change the rule. That's why I check the rule board every time I go there. Because at some point I feel like they're going to be like, nah, you got to kill them. There is overall been a push for the more native species, which is good even. So we used to do a lot of rainbow trout stocking, even at rivers. Rainbow trout are not native. Um, well, they're not native to Honshu, they're not native to Hokkaido. I think they're native to the Kurils, which Japan used to own, but they don't anymore. It's now owned by the Russians. But I know a lot of rivers have taken to like, or associations. I think there's a bit of pressure, like, okay, no, we're going to stock native species now. And so now the trout on the mostly in paper. Although some, there's one near me out in the flashing down and still traps. Traps. Hey Terry, how are you today? We're kind of getting near the end. I have today off from work, but I still have errands to run, so I gotta go deal with that. Deal with my wife's bicycle. She ran over something. I think the tire can be saved, but the tube, I don't think that tube's going in again. The other problem too is like she is. Wait, they're jumping. They're jumping. They're really active here. Never mind. We're gonna spend more time fishing. Wait, I think it's deeper here. I should have adjusted the float. We're close enough to the screen you can hear the announcements. Yeah, Stanley's in Texas. Hopefully I'll be in Texas next fall. Even if not permanent, just for a visit. So my mother is one of those people, despite, living in Massachusetts, she generally at some point during the year makes it a point to go back to Texas for deer season to go hunt on the family ranch. I mean, it's a lot easier to kill a deer in Texas than in Western Massachusetts. Oh, sorry. I was just saying that hopefully next year I will be back in Texas, at least visiting. My mother, right, family, my grandparents, her parents, they live in Central Texas in the hill country, and so even though she lives in Massachusetts, she makes it a point to go back to Texas every year to go deer hunting on the family ranch because it's a lot easier to kill a deer in Texas than Massachusetts. Of course, once you put the camera out, they stop jumping, they stop being active. Yeah, down there. Good, bringing people together. think I saw your pictures you posted. Ooh. Wahoo. Alright, this might be our last spot because I'm back where all my bags and gear are. One nice thing about Japan, you don't worry about your stuff getting stolen. Yeah, not deep enough. There is I don't know how well you can see it. He's right there. There's an absolutely huge koi. Wow. Yeah, you do some out there trips. I didn't realize how far out you were actually going. I've actually never gone far enough out on the ocean fishing that I couldn't see land. Oh. Oh, really? Actually, that makes sense. Tuna, you got to go pretty far out. I do love tuna. I had tuna sushi last night. I'm slowly packing up. That's actually true. Stanley, weren't you saying you don't know many YouTubers on the Western Coast? Yeah, Terry, you're a mod. Drop him a link. All right, now we just got to take it apart, which isn't that difficult, actually. So the way I normally do this is I start at the tip, which is best practice as far as not breaking things. Collapse everything in, going backwards. Close it up, undo the knot. Ooh, it's cold. The colder it gets, the harder it is to undo or do these knots, I swear. And if the camera's on, it gets much harder. Yep. Ta-da! Put it away. Go get the cap. This one I bought. So I had a 3-meter. I used a 270 at first, which was okay. I didn't love it. It was a cheapo. Then I got a nicer 3-meter. Eventually broke that. Then I found this 2.5 on sale, and I was like, oh, this is nice. I don't love it. It's kind of weird. So this is an aftermarket cap. Here's the original cap back here. But not quite right size. They were sold kind of with a, oh no, it's not an aftermarket cap. I thought it was. Yep. That's the cap to keep everything together. Also not original. So, yeah. I'm thinking that this is one of those things that the fishing shop got sold. Well, they were like, okay. We'll just like kind of put it back together and then sell it for really cheap. So I use that a lot for micro. If I was going to go on a serious Tenkara trip, I might buy a new one. Closer to 275, 300 centimeters. But for most of what I do, the price was right. Well, my wife would be like, you don't need another fishing rod. You already have a ton. Be like, alright, old anime reference. Do Re Mi, the father in it, his whole thing is going fishing. I think he does trout area fishing. I don't think they ever specify. It's a kid show. My kid likes it. And that every time he's like goes fishing, he's sneaking out of the house so his wife doesn't notice. It's like bad stereotypes of the 90s. Maybe it's even older. But there we go. Oh, that's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, Terry's got some cool stuff on there, though. I'm worried about getting seasick, being like halfway there and it just becoming a vomit comet. You know, like you're holding the fishing rod, you're just going, bleh! you're shooting bait over the side. Here, let's go all the way down. We'll take a look. We'll go back this way. Looks like the fish are more active now that it's getting sunny. Yeah, emptied all out of my stomach. I remember this was years ago when I lived in New York City. For my birthday, we went on basically a party boat for flounder, the flat one on the bottom. So we were going out fishing for flounder. And, I took motion sickness medication because I know I get seasick. And I was fine, but I couldn't look like straight down. My girlfriend at the time, who I was going with, has absolutely no concept of motion sickness for sure. Because she was like, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, pointing at things. Absolutely fine. Drinking, no issue. No issue seasickness. I'm like, okay, look, I'm not going to look down. That gives me a little bit of an issue. But as long as I look out towards the horizon or look at my rod, there's not an issue, as long as my eyes don't focus on, like, right where the water meets the boat. Well, this other group next to me, they were having a miserable time. I remember we're fishing there, and we're not catching anything. And the guy vomits over the side, okay? And then the other guy in the group vomits over the side. I think it was 2 guys, 2 girls. So they're probably, like, 2 couples. And then about a few minutes after they vomited, the fish started biting. Look at that guy go. Shoot, what's his English name? Chub. He's a species of chub, basically. Ducks like hanging out on those rocks in the early morning. I should have been fishing down here. Actually, I think it's the time. Yeah, there's a big school right there. I think those are moros. They look like moros. When I start, duck. 2 ducks. When I started fishing this morning, it was like 10 degrees, 11 degrees. Might have been too cold. I got the boat. Yeah. Probably like, oh, screw you, it's duck season. But we're safe here. Yeah, you're right. You are. I feel like there's more ducks in here now. Sweet. Glad you guys could connect. There's someone's bicycle. I don't know how a bicycle ended up in there. Sweet Terry. I know a lot of times for me watching your lives, unfortunately, the times just don't match up because of job and stuff. Those are there's a big carp. I know, isn't that funny? All right, we're almost up to the road. This is actually where it all starts. Ooh, there's a lot of carp there today. Okay, a lot of carp. So this is actually where the canal starts in here. So the water basically is collected through different points in the city and then ends up flowing together here. So there's a canal that basically runs here. That's that like really nice one where they have the colorful koi in them that's fenced off. There's a colored koi right down there. I think sometimes they escape, and that's how we get them in here. And then they breed, and that's how you get ones like that baby orange one that's running around. All right. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. I'm glad you guys got to meet each other. Stanley, why are you not a mod? Stanley, I don't know why you weren't a mod. I thought you were. I'm sorry. Anyways, everybody, I hope you enjoyed it. Stanley, Terry, I'm glad you could connect with each other. I do have to do all those errands that people have on their days off. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you're watching on the replay, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in our next adventure. Bye-bye, everybody.